Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ella Moore, and today I'll be presenting Ballet Vocabulary Foundations and Progressions. The things that will be included in my PowerPoint presentation will be foundations of posture and how to articulate it, teaching approaches for different age groups within different ballet steps in the RAD syllabus, and progression of techniques, and some current faults and corrective teaching failures. Understanding correct posture is a major concern in the ballet and upcoming. Locating neutral position is key to success in your ballet career. Alignment. Alignment often refers to the efficient organization of the body, which includes lengthening the spine, equal weight distribution between both feet, head, body, and the floor, knees tracking over toes, especially in your plie position. Placement. Placement refers to maintaining turnout and coordination within the body's organization. Rotating is always initiated from the hips, lifting through the torso and balancing your weight placement. And core engagement provides dynamic stability, and this supports your turning, jumping, and balance. Teaching correct posture for younger students is crucial. By the age of 5 to 6, the students should start to grab an idea of what locating neutral position is within their pelvis to be able to start their next journey into ballet with their jumps, leaps, turns, and all of the above. Some strategies that teachers, and myself included, will use is visual imagery. So you can say to students, I'm going to grow as tall as the tallest building in the world, or as tall as a sunflower. Students will then locate their pelvis and try and be the tallest in the building. Demonstrating. A lot of students learn very visually from other teachers. So when you're showing your posture, you need to be able to then provide an example as a teacher to the students. Positive feedback is really crucial for students. They love short and precise, very specific feedback to know that they're going on track, they're doing well, they love what they're doing. This is so that younger learners, they respond often to play-based learning, so you could put on some different types of music that they enjoy, something that's really relevant to them. Simple language and visual demonstration.
An additional example of how students in primary ballet demonstrate the visual imagery is marches. The marching exercise, you could speak about having to be as tall and as strong as a man doing a marching.
That we'll be analysing today is a pirouette en dehors, which means out the door. There are 4 key and major parts of a pirouette that need to be executed by the students before they can properly do their steps. The first one, as we can see, is the preparation of plie. She has turned out feet, she has her arms at a level distribution, her head is straight, and she has located posture neutrally within her pelvis, which goes back to the foundation years spoken about earlier. The next one is the push to the releve. The girl is still spotting, which is learnt in our grade 3 exercises, which will be shown next. She has her turned out, she has both of her arms coming along with her, and her spine is still in neutral position. She then turns a little bit more, keeping her spot, and has a controlled finish at the end. Her turnout is still executed correctly, and she has quickly whipped over her head from side to side. At the end, she has a controlled finish and a controlled landing. Some key techniques that the students learn about in my classes are spotting, core engagement, vertical alignment, turnout maintenance, and arm coordination, which within this girl we can see all of those crucial techniques. Successful pirouettes require coordination of alignment and rotational control.
Although grade 1s do not do pirouettes yet, they are still learning the most important foundations, which are the crucial elements of their years. This includes a transference of weight exercise, which focuses primarily on the body shifting from one side to the other. Without transference of weight, you are unable to successfully do a pirouette in your later years. This is why transference of weight is especially important. Additionally, being able to hold and maintain turnout is essential for pirouettes in their later years. This is an important time for students and needs to be recognised.
We can see the developmental stages of pirouettes en dehors within the grades, starting off with a grade 3 example, which are preparing for turns. They're not doing them on one leg yet. They are practicing their retire balance, then they're also practicing their spots. I will show you now a demonstration of myself teaching a year 3 class.
Alright, so today we're going to be talking about our pirouettes that we've been practicing a lot on. What are some things that we've really been focusing on, Charlie? Spotting. Spotting is a really big one. What have we been trying to spot? The
Corner.
What's it look like you doing, Dylan?
Retire.
Our retire position. Beautiful. So today we're going to be learning a new exercise. Yes. Beautiful. All right. So our exercise, we're going to go 5, 6, 7, 8. Watch me for the first one. So we're going to start by stepping and doing our big retire up, making sure we're spotting the corner. Can you guys have a practice about that?
Okay.
These grade 3 students were learning about spotting and their basic retires, going from one leg to the other, and their coordination skills, which then transitions smoothly into grade 6 to 8, where they're looking more at their quarter turns on a single leg and their half pirouettes. They're maintaining strong core alignment still, which is developed in the earlier years. We then move on to intermediate foundation, where they start to learn about controlled single pirouettes en dehors and en dedans, which then they're still talking about their spotting. This is now on one leg, so students really need to maintain their core alignment, postural alignment, and their strength, which then finish in controlled positions. I will now show a demonstration within an intermediate foundation student.
So recently we've been learning about our pirouettes. What is something that we've been really focusing on in our pirouettes exercise? What, Penny?
Spotting and
Exactly. And we've also been learning a lot about our retire position. Alright, let's learn our exercise.
Although this exercise showed us en dedans instead of en dehors, the foundations of the exercise is still exactly the same. The same principles applied from en dehors to en dedans pirouettes, especially on the one leg. We then move to intermediate, where they start to do pirouettes, double pirouettes, and start to maintain their control and alignment throughout, starting to develop creative artistry as well. The first analysis I'll be addressing is a brise dessous. A brise dessous means to be broken over. There are 4 major steps in a brise dessous that should be required to execute the step correctly. The first, as we can see, is preparation. The girl has both feet in 5th position and she is ready. She's got her deepest plie going and she's ready to go and jump. The next one is brushing, the dégagé action. She is now starting to lift and elevate off the floor. She is ready for her full position. The next one is beating. In the air, she is beating, crossing both feet in a 5th position with her head slightly over to distribute her weight. And lastly, she's landing. She's controlled, she's landed back in her first position that she started off with. See, these 2 girls are the same. Key techniques that we need to address are quick footwork, strong vertical torso, coordination of the beat in the air, and controlled landing within the turner. When these muscles are strengthened, that's why we do our brises in a older age group compared to the age group. I'm now going to show you a demonstration of teaching the brise dessous from a grade 3 to an intermediate to see the difference between the two. A brise dessous is used in petit allegro, requires elevation and timing. about the brise position. As a grade 3 student, the students do not need to learn how to do their full brises until the intermediate foundation grades. As a grade 3 student, they're starting to develop quick footwork, articulation of the feet, speed, accuracy, and plie, and also developing the spotting of their heads. What's something that we really need to know, Emmy, in our John Drummond's and Soto's exercise?
Pointing your toes and fast footwork.
Beautiful, and this will later develop into our brise. Alright, so starting off, we're going to start in parallel. I'm going to teach you the exercise and then we'll do it all together. So we're going to start with a plie and jump, jump. We can see that her feet are pointed and her knees are straight. This is to develop our brise position. Then we're going to be now doing our exercise together.
This is an example of an intermediate. We can see the progression between the grade 3 student who is learning the foundations of elevation, jump, and precise coordination, all the way up until the intermediate student who was on the demonstration, who was doing their full brise position with the 4 basic steps. Through the 2 demonstrations that were provided, you can clearly see the progression between the 2 grades that were shown. The grade 3 student who was still learning the basic foundations of elevation and jump within their allegro, compared to the intermediate student who has their full brise position. In their demonstration, you can see the student has their 4 key elements that are provided within the brise. As a grade 3 student, we can see that there are many foundations that need to be shown before they can move on to grade 6 to 8. In grade 6 to 8, they jump from their basic allegro to more faster footwork, more elevation in their allegro, and introduction to more clearer beats. Then, moving on to the intermediate foundation, which has their basic brise execution, showing the brush, the beat, and the close, as shown with our girl. This is required with more greater placement of torso and more accurate timing within the allegro, which the teacher should be demonstrating. Then we see the intermediate student that was on the video who had cleaner beats in the air, increased suspension in the air, greater use of epaulement, and refined musicality performance qualities. The 2 common faults that I'll be talking to you today about in pirouettes en dehors is the first one being traveling during the turns. The cause of this is pushing sideways through the torso. Having your retire up, pushing to the side or pushing to your hips can cause you to fall off, and your weight is not centered. Speaking previously about the posture and alignment and the importance of it, this is why you need to develop strong alignment in the early years of ballet. The second fault is poor spotting. This is due to a delay of head movement and loss of visual focus. The student can enhance their spotting by consistently practicing exercises such as turning and flipping your head, and practicing your pirouettes consistently by spotting a particular item, shape, or color. Correction strategies can include verbal cues, so ensuring that you're always giving positive feedback when required, giving proper feedback not just related to the body, such as lifting through your center rather than saying stomach, or moving your eyes first rather than saying your whole head, making sure it's very specific to the student as well. Physically demonstrating can also be a very bright idea for students to analyze teachers. Teachers who have danced previously will have the knowledge and the skills to execute proper movement. With this, students are able to verbally see and get cues from teachers on the correct analyzing. Tactile feedback is always really good for students as long as you give consent. Consent is very important within the ballet community now.
lightly supporting the waist so the students have that tactile feedback on where they're placed in their ballet position. Guidance for shoulder alignment, checking that they've got their correct posture, and encouraging central placement within their posture.
After all of these faults have been addressed, we can clearly see this student having all of these points addressed. They have their head level and eyeline raised. Their neck is not tilted forward or strained, which comes under the posture element. Their body and energy is directed up towards the ceiling. Their pelvis is straight down, hips down, and their tail or bottom is underneath them, which again comes under the pirouette element of posture. Their knee is actively pressed out from the hip using their rotator muscles, which are developed in their crucial years. There are higher releve and their turns position is correct.
Posture provides the foundation for technically accuracy, musicality, artistry expression, and effective teaching practices. Some key takeaways from our PowerPoint today is alignment, placement, and core engagement underpins ballet technique. It is very crucial that students learn this from a young age so then they are able to develop and take this further in their dancing career. Teaching strategies should be adapted to the developmental stage. For example, you're not going to give a grade 3 student the same information as an advanced 1 student, vice versa. Brise de sous and pirouettes en dehors develop progressively through refinement and practice. This is evidently shown with the examples that I have provided to you within our grade 3 versus an intermediate student. An effective feedback supports technical and artistic growth. A student always loves their positive feedback. Giving constructive feedback as well is the core to students' enhancement of their dancing. Thank you for listening.